Welcome and thank you for tuning into the JoyTutor podcast. I am your host, JoAnna Williams. Together, we will unpack, learn, teach, and celebrate the journey of emerging entrepreneurs and courageous trailblazers. Let's dig in. Hey, Sparkle!
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Boo. It is wonderful to have you on the show.
It's amazing to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. So I'm just going to jump right into it. All right. Please introduce yourself to the JoyTutor audience.
Hi, JoyTutor audience. I'm Sparkle J of Sparkle's Junk Boutique. I make clothes and accessories for all the family needs. Literally all of them, from the dog to the kids, to the mama, to the daddy, to the granddaddies, and the grannies.
I love it.
Everybody can have an outfit. You get an outfit, you get an outfit. I'm the Oprah of fashion design.
I love it. And I hear the passion. I hear the joy. How did you get started? Like, what sparked you to go down this path?
Honestly, I'm 6 foot even. I've always been a really, really tall, slender woman. Back in the day, when I was younger, jeans didn't come down to my ankles. I'm gonna just be 100% honest. I've always loved fashion, but it became very much a passion when things didn't fit how I wanted them to. My mom makes jokes all the time about when I was younger, how I was a 00 for so many years. And she used to have to pin my clothes and put darts in my clothes here and things of that nature. So I really just started wanting to create my own lane and drive in it. I swerved in all these other lanes. So I needed my own. I needed to be able to be comfortable in what I had on. Like, I already was slim. I used to be a little chocolate thing when I was younger. So I already didn't have in school. I used to question why none of the dudes like me. And maybe it's because my pants stop at my ankles, and the fashion world now wasn't what it was back then. Like, it's nothing like back then. So they didn't have all these options. So I had to create my own.
Before we started recording, you were about to go into a story about your mom came home with that new cute outfit from Gap. Please.
My mom. She used to always go shopping in the Lake of the Ozarks for us. And she went shopping this one season and she brought home these outfits. And I had this outfit from Gap. She was in love with it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Had the matching bucket, had to go with it, all that good nature. Tag still on it and everything. I decided I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like it like that. So I took some scissors and snip, snip, snip. When I was younger, my mom worked a lot. So with her working so much, like, I was able to snip it without her even knowing that I was snipping it. So she came home from work one day and she was just like, "What happened?" And she doesn't curse now, but she cursed back then. It was, "What the hell happened?" And da 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 da, like she was going in, like, "Why would you cut that? That was brand new and still had the tag." Da 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 da. I didn't get in much trouble other than her yelling, but my mom is a healthy little thick lady, so just her yelling alone was a lot. And it was just like, what did I do? So later on, she had to explain to me that you really didn't do anything. It shook her and shocked her that I cut this up, but she was so encouraging for me to keep going. I was probably about 7 or 8 then. I started hand sewing things with needle and thread at the age of 7. By the time I was 14, I was ready for a sewing machine. So my mom went out to the Goodwill and bought me this little old school sewing machine, and I just went to work. Like, she knew, like I said, that was going to be something that would be lasting with me, because my grandmother, her mom, was a seamstress. My grandmother passed away when I was a baby. I was only a couple months old. She passed away on Christmas of 88. I was born July of 88. So my grandmother, she gave me that. She gave me her seamstress little fingers, and she gave me that sewing mentality. Like, it skipped my mom and went straight to me, and she just knew. She just knew. It was
Wow.
kind of a connection to her mom as well with me sewing. Like I see that in her when I make things for her that because her favorite story is to tell me about how my grandmother used to make all their outfits. And so you kind of can see the connection with her mom through my sewing.
It's like your grandmother prepared and primed your mom for what was to come with you as well.
I'll take that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll
Because
take that.
does that feel right to you as well?
It does because when I sew, I've always told my mom it's this spiritual entity
Mhm.
that feels like it's watching over me. Like, and I used to be scared at first of it because, like I said, I never really got to know my grandmother to where I can remember knowing my grandmother. So, but from my understanding, I was her favorite. Yes, to any of my cousins that's listening, I was my grandmother's favorite. My mom is the baby girl, and I'm my mom's only girl. I still am her only girl. So my grandmother had me a lot from my understanding. Like she would go to sleep with me on her chest. Like I was always with my grandmother a lot because my mom was always with her mom. Like she died of cancer. So even when she was sick and in her last days, my mom was there a lot. So I do feel like it's a spiritual entity that's over me when I'm sewing. And like I said, I used to be scared, but I ain't scared of it anymore. I just be like, hey, Granny,
Yes, because
see what I'm making today.
grandma is definitely there with you. I love it. Let me just also call out and shout out to mom for
Shout
supporting
out my
you.
mama.
And also we did have a common connection before recording around just the healing journey with both of our mothers. And I definitely would like to we will touch on your business and more of, what you got going on, all the good stuff. But I do want to shout out and highlight our tribe, just how important it is to have that support. And a lot of times, who we are as children shape who we become as young adults. And then oftentimes during that period of, you're 18, between 18, I would say, and 30, right? Or maybe in your 20s, you are not the best version of yourself.
I
Because
agree.
I can attest to that. I say all that to say that there is the opportunity to look and to heal and deal. And part of that journey oftentimes is inclusive of our mothers. And my mom was a single mom. And I've shared this a million times about, just my relationship with my mom and how we had to go through a healing journey. Flojo is what we call her. I'm named after my mom. That's my rock. That's my boo. We even each other out. I am her roller coaster child, meaning my mom had never been on a roller coaster. And for her 50th birthday or 55th birthday, I took her to Six Flags and had her on every roller coaster, scared her to death. But I say all that to say, I am her daredevil child. Whatever she's afraid of doing or would have been afraid of doing, I've done it, will do it, and she know it. And she absolutely loves that about me. At one point, I felt like she didn't like that about me. But I say all that to say, it's been a beautiful healing journey. And I love the story you shared about your mom and you created the space for
In
your
that moment.
mom in that moment to heal and have a conversation. And you gave your mom her roses. Listen, you would not be here today, Sparkle, without the love and passion of mom. So I just want to take a few minutes to allow you to share that journey, because there may be someone else who is in the same position as you, where you are trying to birth a dream or a big idea, but oftentimes our family stuff can be very distracting, and it can be the very thing that's holding us back, because we may value who we are, our self-worth and our ability based on past relationships or things that have been said to us. And the reaction that you had between your mom when you cut up the outfit, that could have broke you. But mom came back and said, no, 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 no. Let me explain to you my reaction. It's not you, Sparkle, the person, the young lady. It's what you did. And this is why that startled me. You're good. Continue your passion. But this is why I had the reaction that I had. Shout out to mom for going back and
Before I share my mom and I little short journey of us, I do want to say any entrepreneurs that's out there that's thinking about starting, and you're thinking family members are stopping you or family dynamics are stopping you, your family is not your customers. Those are not your clients. Those are not your shoppers. They're not your target audience, period, point blank. Any family members that's going to support you financially or help build are going to support and help build, but that is not your target audience. Like, do not allow any of that to be the reason that you don't. As far as me and my mom, baby, my mom was born in the 60s. I'm gonna just tell you that. So she mommed how she was mom, period, point blank. Not saying that my grandmother was a bad mother, because she wasn't. Like, my aunts and uncles and my mom, they speak highly of my grandmother, but it's things that I definitely know could have been done differently that molded these paths with my aunts and uncles that had these ways that they're set into and things of that nature that definitely, if my grandmother had the sources that we have today, that my mom and them would have been different people. Not taken away from who they are either. They are amazing as well. And I do thank my grandmother for raising them how she raised them, because if she hadn't raised my mom how she raised my mom wouldn't have raised me how she raised me, and I wouldn't be who I am today. But our journey, we've never had this wicked mom and hurtful daughter relationship or anything of that nature. It was never anything serious of us fighting physically or calling each other out of names or anything like that. But we didn't have the best relationship. I am this big outspoken person. Growing up, my mom felt like kids are to be seen and not heard, like the adults in the 60s. Why your mouth too smart, not embracing my passion. Now my mom embraced my passion in mouth. Like, now she'll step to the side. She doesn't curse or anything of that nature anymore. So she now will step aside and allow me to unleash my godly way of telling somebody, you got her fucked up. Don't talk to her like that. That's mine when it's all said and done, no matter what her and I have been through, no matter the disagreements, no matter the things that I didn't like growing up, no matter any of that, that still has always been my mom. Like, she's always thought that I didn't like her of that nature because she didn't know how to accept the way that I love. She thought that I was supposed to love her the way she loves her mom. But I'm me. I have to tell her that all the time. You're Big Red, I'm Sparkle. We're two different people. Now, in her age, Big Red learned all the new tricks. She was very receptive to a lot of things that I had to say. At first, she's always said that I was a great mom, but she did have disagreements with certain ways that I mom. Now my mom knows when it comes to my children, because my kids don't get whoopings. She now knows that basically all you have to do is tell my kids, I don't like that. That's fine if you do it at home. I don't like you to do it at grandma's. Don't do that anymore. And my kids receive that and they go forward with that. They know not to do it there. They can do it at home. My kids, we had to learn that with the word lie. Lie is a curse word to my mom so bad. My daughter said it to her one day and she popped her, hurt my little baby feelings. And we had to really go there like, mama, don't pop her for that. She can say lie to me. It's not a curse word. She's like, well, it's a curse word here. I said, don't tell her that. Do not tell her that that's a curse word. It's not a curse word. It's a word you don't like. So things like that, my mom was very receptive to receive. And even things with my past, she took in everything that I was saying that I didn't like. And don't get me wrong, Joy, I had an amazing childhood. I was raised in a 2-parent household. We went to any and everywhere you could think of as kids. I've been to Disney World multiple times. Like, we were outside. It was a family vacation every summer. So it's not as if I just had this horrible childhood upbringing or anything like that. I had an amazing childhood, but let's be honest, it's still some things that are traumatic that people don't know is traumatic on you, and you have to speak on them. And I held so much in as a kid because I felt like I couldn't talk to my mom. Mm-hmm. Now, baby, that's my best friend. I sit on the phone with her and my auntie, one of her twin sisters. She got a set of twin sisters. It's only 3 girls. So we sit on the phone and I cackle with them little old hens like I'm their age now. That is my bestie. And at her surprise birthday party just in January, I had to really highlight that, not just in private and not just telling her that in private. And when it's just us, I really needed everybody to know. And honestly, everybody know it because my Facebook post when it comes to her, my podcast interview questionnaire that I had to send you, I highlighted my mom because she definitely is a major part of my support system. It's my mom, my dad, my guy, my kids. Like that is everything. And I do have friends and family that support me on this journey. But when it's back against the wall, I know that those are the ones that won't leave. That's not going anywhere. That is going to be in this with me forever.
I love
They
it.
ain't got no choice. I put them in a headlock. But I definitely had to give her flowers and let her know that I appreciate I appreciate you being very receptive of everything that I had to say. I appreciate you not only receiving it, but fixing it. I appreciate the growth. Like I'm growing and I'm changing, and she grew and changed a lot. And we needed that. We needed that growth together and separately to be where we are now.
I just want to give you your flowers, love, for being the advocate of change and for modeling a more effective, positive, and constructive way to resolve conflict. I'm sure you've heard of the book Five Love Languages, but there's also a way that we fight. There's also a language that we use to disagree. And you teaching your mom and establishing boundaries to say, no, 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 let's be clear. Lie is not a curse word. It's all about mindset and perception, right? And perspective. Here's your house rules, and here are the rules of engagement when it comes to negative or confrontational situations when it comes to my children. So, one, you showed your daughter a healthy way to communicate when you two did not agree. And that in itself is laying down a new foundation, my love. So, congratulations to you. Okay.
Thank
And
you.
mama and Miss Red for
That's
being
my baby.
open. And I thank her because as a daughter as well, being in your position, it means a lot. And it helps you to really heal the trauma that you may have. It's just so much easier to let it go. I recently read, because I'm listening to a book called Childhood Disrupted. And research shows that trauma as a child is equivalent to someone getting drunk, getting in a car and driving. That the trauma as a child, it manifests in our body and it will show up as autoimmune diseases, from
I've
lupus
heard that.
to alopecia areata, hand in hand. So I say all that to say, congrats, because you are setting your children, your daughter off to a very healthy start. And you are an amazing role model for her because you took what was a pain point and a need and found your passion and your purpose and started your own clothing line. And so I think that is the perfect segue to get into your clothing line and what you do and what you love. Tell us about it.
I create magic, just to be honest.
Enough said. Okay, mic drop. Podcast is done. Let's
I
go.
don't. So I am a freehand designer. I don't use patterns, and if it is a pattern that I'm using, it's one that I drafted myself. It's never one that was already made, or I don't even know how to use patterns. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know the cutting dynamics or any of that stuff, and I've always heard throughout my career that that's amazing. And here I am giving the cookies and the stars to the ones that can use patterns, because I think it's amazing that you know how to cut this out and do this and do that with it. And when I was in school, I went to the Illinois Institute of Art in Chicago, inside the Chicago Sun-Times building. And my professor used to always be mad and be like, "You're going ahead of the syllabus." And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all doing stuff I was doing when I was 10. I done that already. So it was like very hard, and it was a struggle in school to actually keep up with the class because I was ready to teach the class. And now I do teach my own sewing classes. I offer sewing classes. My classes are called Sip, Smoke, and Sew. So I do hookah. I have the little individual hookahs, the really small ones that sit at the table. I cook. My food consists of, most of the time they always ask for the catfish fillets. So I do a catfish fillet, I do a salad. We have a nice little wine. I love the Nina, and a lot of my students love the Nina wine from Randall's Wine and Spirit. It's their house wine. It's called Nina. Try it. It is amazing. It's like an adult Capri Sun. Don't drink it too fast. It's so good. I've sewn through everything. Sewing is my high.
Okay.
Sewing to me is what a bottle is to a drinker. Like, I don't know any other way to put it. Sewing to me is scissors to a hairdresser, clippers to a barber. It's life for me. I just recently, I'm coming up on my second year of remission from cervical cancer, and even on my lowest of low days, I will get up and at least try to sew. Like, I've sewn through a broken wrist. I had a broken wrist last year, and I was getting client orders out. Like, I stopped taking orders once I broke it, but I definitely was still getting the ones done, not because I couldn't refund them, but because I didn't want to refund them, because it was things that I really did want to do, or it was an obstacle that I wanted to get through to see if I could. And I really was sewing through a broken wrist, and it shocked my doctors how good I was healing, how fast I was healing, especially with just getting done with radiation therapy. Like, I had just got done with radiation therapy in September, and here's January, I broke my wrist, and sewing through it and healing through it. And my doctors was just like, that was very therapeutic for me to still sew through it. My guy bought me a dog for Mother's Day last year, and she was the smallest, most gorgeous thing ever. And I'm like, I got to do something that got to do with dogs, and still include sewing. I make dog beds. I make dog harnesses from scratch. I make the dog collars, the dog leashes, like anything that you want for you, and you need your little fur baby to wear it too, I can make that.
I have a Celebrations of Courage event every year that I do. I read your story, but I would like to honor you in June with the Resilient Award. You, my love, exude the definition of resilience. You do. And if there is anyone more deserving and worthy of it, it is you. I see you. I recognize you. You're loving, you're amazing, you're a healer, you're a teacher. But I see the part of Sparkle that also needs her cup filled. Not to say that you don't, but I understand that space that you power from. And that space within you, I want to celebrate. Just your light. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, love.
I have a friend named Chelsea that loves to call me modest. Like, she goes off on me so bad, and she just be, you're so modest. You're so humble. Just shut up and take the compliment. Just receive it and accept the appreciation. And it's not that I don't accept it. I don't really feel like what I do or who I am needs any rewarding. I don't do it for any rewards. I am who I am, and I appreciate and show love to the people around me just because I need them to know that you don't have to be here. You're here. I love and I appreciate that you don't have to. My guy and I have been together 10 years now. You don't have to stay with me. We're two cancers. I don't even know how we stay. Yes, I do. I take that back, God. I'm sorry. Because it wasn't nothing but God.
I know what you mean.
It was nothing but God. Like, and I literally just, I appreciate that.
Because you deserve to be celebrated. You really and truly do. And that's the reason why I created this table, the Celebrations of Courage Award, because there's so many moments where when people see on the outside all of the greatness that we're doing, but they really don't get a chance to see or feel or know what it took to get back up when we gave up on the inside. They don't understand the moments where we did give up, but we were still doing it, right? And I'm sure you've had moments like that, but you just wear your resilience so well. And you're doing great things, and you have just gotten started, my love. This is the very beginning. Of course, we'll have multiple interviews over the next couple years, but I definitely am happy to be able to honor you and celebrate you.
To be 100% transparent, last weekend, I didn't even think I would be here long enough to even be in this podcast right now. Like, I really was allowing the devil to mentally get to me and to tell me I wasn't good enough, I wasn't enough. And I had the same people, my friend, my guy, my mom, and my dad, that just was, you are good enough. In their way of saying you are good enough. My dad was just like, I don't want you by yourself. Go and find your mom. And me and my mom had just had an argument, and she didn't even realize that I already had so much on my back and my shoulder, and to feel like her and I was backsliding to where we used to be was a lot. And like, we hadn't had that type of disagreement or argument in a long time, where either of us was actually there. Our pettiness was coming out, and it was just like, I can't, what am I doing? Like, what is going on? I got so far ahead for this pushback.
Sometimes we got to clean house again.
Yep.
You know, just how we have to go wash our clothes every week. Sometimes we have to go back and revisit and renew. This podcast happened for a reason. This connection happened for a reason, because I was there as well. That's the reason why I was up, and I saw your podcast request come through at 5:45 in the morning. I was up and I approved it right then and there, because I was down on the couch like, should I be doing this? Sure, I'm not sure.
I said that after I was done with the questionnaire you sent, and it was like, you were waiting on approval, and I said, well, how long? And I saw how long it'd take, and I'm like, oh, I got a couple of more weeks. And I saw how fast, and I'm like, oh wow, she liked me. I turned around to my guy and said, she liked me or something.
Yeah, I was like, and I said, should I do this? And your podcast interview request came through. So we are, in essence,
oh God, I hear you. And
helping each other. We really are. But we're going to celebrate you. I'm located in New York. The event is in Brooklyn. It's June 3rd.
I'm on a hiatus off of Facebook at the moment, but I got on yesterday just to make a post of me being on the interview today. And I just was like, and just so y'all know, she's located in New York. You know,
yes.
I see you, big guy. I see you. Because at first I didn't know exactly where you were located. But then when I saw that you were in New York, I was just like, okay, God, I see you trying to make sure other people see me. I see
for sure. And my girlfriend Lee, she is episode, I want to say 5 or 9. She we went to high school together, teen mom together. She walked her line in New York Fashion Week.
Okay.
So that's what sparkle going. Come on.
Okay.
You feel
I've been invited to New York Fashion Week, but it didn't. The people that invited me didn't seem legit. It was so much more into it after the invite. And it's just like, why do I have to pay all these finances if you're inviting me? You want my line on your runway. Why are all these other finances? I could see my way there in my hotel, my room and board and all of that, but I have to pay all these other prices. Like, I know that that's not how you operate, because I've modeled. So I know that you don't pay nobody to use your face. So why would I pay you to use my designs? Like, what? No.
Right.
No, and I know how good I am. I just did a Sweet 16 dress last year, and her inspiration was a Fashion Nova dress, and the mom sent it over to me. And once I was done with the dress, like, what I do with my clients is I do walk them through every step that I go. I don't do anything without them saying, yes, I want that. Go with that. Go with that. Yeah. And that's just for my receipt as well as theirs. And I don't allow conversations. Like, I'll talk to you on the phone, but after we're done with this conversation, I need everything in writing. While I'm talking on the phone, I'm writing down what you want, but I need you to write it in your words as well.
Yeah.
Just for receipts for both of us, because when it comes down to it and you're wanting a refund or anything of that nature, I don't need you saying, well, I didn't say do that. Yes, you did. It's right here. And I need to be able to go directly to it of, I did exactly what you wanted me to do. But I always tell them I don't duplicate. I don't even duplicate my own work. I don't know if I'm dyslexic, ADHD, or what, because I could be sitting there looking at what I made and cannot recreate it. I've tried it with the bracelets that I make multiple times. I can never get the beading exactly like the original one.
It just sounds like you just meant to be a one and done original, honey.
And I tell them that
exclusive.
All the time. I'm like, I don't know how to duplicate. So what you want would be my version of it. Like it's your creation, what you want, your idea, but it'll be my version of the design.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do anything else.
What?
I've done alterations on Vera Wang dresses. I used to work at David's Friday. So I've done alterations on a lot of the major designers' wedding gowns. And when I say I don't want that, I want to be big and known, but I don't want to be bigger than me sewing it. I've been in business 8 years. What made me originally jump and get into business was my daughter. It was another one of those, I'm tired of this. Like, I can't go in the store and find mommy and me stuff that's cute and not all granny-ish. And I just need fashion forward mommy and me pieces, or I can't find exactly what I'm looking for. And I don't like that. So instead of me shopping and being semi-satisfied with what I got, or halfway satisfied, I like hers, but I don't like mine, but it matched. So I'm gonna just wear it. Nah, and then I need my sons to match, because for some odd reason, people feel like mommy and me is only daughter and mama. No, I had sons before I had a daughter, and we were mommy and me all the time. Like, that does not, no. And I get people when I post me and my daughter in our outfits, because we are a hashtag on Facebook. So your listeners can hashtag yo with a Y-O, fave, F-A-V-E, mommy with an I-N, not a Y, M-O-M-M-I-E, and A-N-D, me. Yo fave, mommy and me. It's Ryan and Cassia, Sparkle and Baby Doll, all up and down that hashtag. That's our hashtag. So when people see our pictures, they always, I wish I had a daughter. And my comment is always, because you can only mommy and me with a daughter? Question mark.
Yes.
Mommy and me is only girls? Question mark. And then following that comment, I always post a picture of me and my boys in our mommy and me, or a family picture from all of us with my guy, the boys, my daughter, like all of us matching from head to toe. And I just be like, mommy and me is mommy and child, period, point blank. Like, the me does not mean girl, because it would say mommy and daughter. That's mommy and me all day. And so I had to create that. So I started off.
You're so dope. You have, not only do you make one of a kind pieces, all right, you can also do pieces for your pets, coats, sweaters, collars, all of that, little hats, booties to match, and the beds. Okay, game changer. Then we are also making cute mommy and child pieces, because you have gathered us and corrected us and got us together. It is mommy and daughter and mommy and son. So it's mommy and child. How can we get in contact with you?
I have a Facebook business page, Sparkles with an apostrophe is Junk, Junk. I'm a boutique, not a boo. Boutique. And I'm on Instagram under Sparkles Junk. And that's all one word, no apostrophe. The junk comes from, I started off making bows out of scrap fabric, and a friend of mine brought over a bucket of ribbon that she had, because she does diaper cakes. And she brought over a bucket of ribbons that were used and things of that sort. So I really just started off my company with doing just bows. And then I started making clothes with the scrap fabrics that I had around, and hence everything came about. That's where the Bowtique came from, because I started off with just bows. I didn't plan on doing anything else until I just noticed they don't make that in my baby's size. I want that in my daughter's size. And she was a itty bitty thing. We called her Thumbelina when she first came out. That's how tiny she was. And I'm just like, I don't want these basic onesies and these basic little shorts that everybody else kid is gonna have on. My daughter needs frills under the bottom of her shorts, or she needs these kind of socks, and everything just end up balling up together. And I just was like, I cheated my sons a little bit. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have started this a long time ago with y'all.
You have a professional business Facebook page as well as an Instagram page. And what are those handles again?
On Instagram, Sparkles with an S, Junk, Junk, all one word. And on Facebook, it's Sparkles with an apostrophe S, Junk, Junk. And I am a Bowtique, Bowtique, not a boutique.
It has been amazing.
It has.
It's been absolutely amazing.
Opportunity. I appreciate just you allowing me to be in your space. I appreciate your beautiful spirit. And I definitely appreciate the Resilience Award. Like, you are dope. I told you that before this even started, that I thought you were dope just for me watching just your platforms, and then to actually talk to you. You are the epitome of a Black woman that's making room for us other Black women, like, not to take away from all races, but Black women standing together and showing that we're not this narrative that they're trying to give us. We're amazing, and you definitely are setting that path. And I appreciate even being able to, I don't even know how we crossed paths, honestly. I don't even know how we were connected on Instagram, how you came about in my feed or anything of that sort. But I definitely know that God had to be in the midst of that, and I much appreciate it.
Well, thank you, my love. And more to come.
Yes,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank you for joining and listening in. We greatly appreciate your time. To learn more about our business development classes, such as how to start a business plan development, and if you have a Wix website and you're struggling with updates, we got you. I'm also excited to announce that we've launched our new Entrepreneur Roadmap and Execution Planner along with the class. The class is maxed out at 14 registrants, therefore the class books very fast. However, we do have waitlists available. Sign up at JoyTutor.com. Also, last but not least, you can follow us on all the social medias at JoyTutor or JoyTutor Inc. Until next time, take care.